Okay, drugstore concealers and kind of more maybe indie brand concealers, K-beauty, J-beauty, everything is in here. And then there will be another video that's high-end to luxury. First up are Colourpop concealers. I know a lot of people like these. I do not. I don't like them as the under eye. I don't like them as foundation. I mean, I guess they're okay as foundation, but I don't want to reach for it again. I don't really like these. And no matter, I've bought maybe like 4 in my lifetime and they separate like very quickly. And I don't know, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, I mean, I don't know, like I can't shake up a concealer, so I don't know. Not a big fan of the Colourpop concealers. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I love these. I have light and medium. Medium works as foundation for me. If I want light, it's sometimes a little too light under my eyes depending on the rest of my makeup. So this one's newer to my collection. I kind of have to blend the two if I want like a really good under eye match. But this is just amazing. When I first got into makeup, a lot of people were into it and I was like, it's okay. I didn't use it. And then the past year, I've just been loving it. I apply pretty much every concealer for the under eye. It goes on my like hand first, and then I use either a brush or a sponge to apply it to my face. It makes the biggest difference in the amount that's applied and how it looks, and it doesn't look as cakey as, you know, if you were to just like place it directly on your face. I'm very big on maximum results, minimum product, so I've been doing that like a lot. Like I don't even know when I don't do it. And this is amazing. You can even take your sponge or brush directly to this because the tip is also a sponge. So I love these concealers. Keeping. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. I'm gonna list all my like shades below. That way I can go through this quickly. This is really good. This is what I think is the most comparable to Tarte's Shape Tape. And I know every concealer is using every concealer uses Shape Tape as like a benchmark, at least when people are reviewing it, but I think this is the one that's the closest to it. It does have a similar doe foot where it's like larger. This gives really great coverage. Again, I can use this as concealer and foundation the same way I do with Tarte's Shape Tape. And I just really love the finish of this. The corresponding foundation that came out with this is also so good. I have 2 of the Milani concealers. With concealers, I tend to buy 2 shades so I can mix, because if I really like a concealer, I want to use it as foundation, or sometimes I want something for the under eye and something for the face. So in all these concealer videos, you'll see that there might be 2 shades for a lot of them. I like this, but I don't love it, and I think it's because I purchased this when I purchased a lot of other concealers to try out. So I'm gonna have to give this like another try. I remember getting the e.l.f. concealer, that like $5-6 one. I was like okay with that. I'll show you a couple other concealers that I picked up around this time frame, but I'm gonna keep these in my collection to see if they like need to stay. I do like it as foundation. I am kind of iffy on the concealer aspect of it so far. Here are a couple from Joa. This is the Truly Yours full cover, and this is the dark circle. This is full coverage, but it doesn't last. And then this, it doesn't have coverage. So for dark circles, I'm like wanting something more, and it's like a more sheer concealer. So these are going. Okay, here we have some Asian. I'm not sure if they're all Korean, they might be. This first one is the Miracle Essence Concealer by Secret Key, and this one, I think it's like too drying. I had been reading about like kind of the K-beauty versions of Tarte Shape Tape like a year ago or 2, and this came up, and this one, it has SPF 30, which is awesome. First of all, it's too drying, and second of all, I think the shade is a little off for me, so I'm gonna declutter this one. That one and these 3, they're all matte formulas, and they have a lot of staying power. So this one is the Cover Perfection Tip Concealer from the same. This next one over here is from Skinfood. It's the Vitawater Stain Concealer. And then this is the Can Make Cover and Stretch Concealer UV. I think all of these are fantastic. They have a lot of coverage, and they're like matte to satin matte. So I would recommend all of these to you. I have 2 shades of the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. This was something, I feel like when I first started watching YouTube, everyone would talk about this, and they talk about how like someone in the UK sent it to them, or they'd have to buy it off eBay. And I just was like, oh my god, what is this concealer? And then it finally launched at Ulta, and there's like 4 or 5 shades, and the ones that were available did not suit me, so I just kind of like whatever. But this year they've launched like the whole shade range, and it's so good. It has a scent to it. I don't mind it. It looks beautiful under the eyes, and it has like medium coverage, so I highly recommend these to you. I have 2 of the Flower Beauty Light Illusion concealers. I really like these. I keep trying to use it under the eye, but I think it's maybe too emollient and it creases. And I've tried mixing with more matte concealers, and I'm just kind of playing with it. I do really like it for foundation, and I do really like it on the face, but I just have to play with it more, or maybe it's just not gonna work for me under the eyes. It's fine up until I get into like the inner corners, and then I just really don't like the way it looks. But I do like this if you're looking for a glowy concealer. It's the Revlon Youth Fix or Youth Effects. This is like a cushion, and I wanted to like this, but sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't, both on the face and on the eyes, and I kind of gave up on it because it was like too finicky for me, so I'm gonna declutter this one. Here are 2 from KKW Beauty. I got these in December, and after much play, I don't think there's nothing wrong with them per se. They're fine under the eye, they're like fine on the face, they're just like, they're okay. So when there's something okay and something that I really like, I'm probably gonna go for stuff that I prefer, so these are gonna get decluttered. This is the Revlon Candid Concealer. It came out with the foundation. I do really like the foundation. It's like a very lightweight satin matte, and then same goes for the concealer. I actually used this on the under eyes today. I have used it many times on the under eyes, but I will more so now that it's warmer. It does look really good, but it's just like probably a personal thing where like during the winter, I'm scared to apply stuff under the eyes that are matte. But this is a really good medium coverage. I don't think you'll get more than that. And then on the face, again, medium coverage. So it's kind of like a everyday concealer when you're not trying to look too made up, but you don't want anything glowy. So I do like this, and I'm keeping this. This is the Collab No Floss Concealer. This is another item from the brand that I really love. It gives really great coverage. It looks really natural. I would say medium coverage max, but the formula is just really, really great. And I use this for the under eyes and the face. This is the Closing Cover Liquid Concealer from Missha. This has a lot of coverage. It almost reminds me of the way like a BB cream feels on the face, but like with a lot of coverage, and it's thicker, so I can really like see it on the face. And I always come back to it and try to use it under the eyes or use it like as foundation, but it just never ends up being what I want it to be. It's always like too much. So I'm gonna declutter this, but if this would work for you, I mean, you get like a monster size. I believe this brand is Flow Fushi. It's the same brand that makes like the Mote eyeliners. It's a Japanese brand. This is the Area Foundy cover. I don't think this has a lot of coverage, so it's kind of cool. The whole like component is really cool. You have a brush on one side, and then over here is like a doe foot. And I had really high hopes for this, but it basically gives like very little coverage. Even if it's like something to touch up with, it's just not enough. So while I am pretty entranced by the packaging, I'm gonna declutter this. Here are concealers from Elcie and Nabla. I keep trying these, and I feel like I'm supposed to love them. I don't know what it is. Like everything Nabla releases gets so much hype on Instagram, and like all the like accounts that like, you know, keep you up with the Kardashian. I don't even know what I was trying to say. That like kind of share new releases with you. I feel like Nabla is a brand that they get very excited about, and I've tried their eyeshadows, and I'm like, I like them, but I'm not like obsessed with them. Like, and then what else have I tried from them? I guess I like their highlighter, but this is like, I have to just keep it in my collection and just try it out again, I think. And the same goes for the Elcie. I do love pretty much everything else that they do, highlighters and eyeshadows, but with this, I'm just kind of playing with it still. Lastly is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi. I really love this. I've talked about it before in like a vlog. I can use it as foundation or concealer. It looks really great under the eyes. It has like a kind of glowy finish, but not super glowy. Like you can powder, but you don't need to powder. I have normal to dry skin, so this is staying in the collection. Okay, so these are all the keeps, and those are the declutters. I think I did pretty good here. Right, so this is where we're at with drugstore slash K-beauty, J-beauty, indie brand concealers.